A very good evening to one and all. I am Dr. Prabhakar Swami, IQC Coordinator Mahatma Phule Mahavidyalaya, Kingaon. On the behalf of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, I heartily welcome to all the dear participants in National Seminar Series organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Mahatma Phule Mahavidyalaya, Kingaon on National Education Policy that we are discussing on National Education Policy. It is the long time seminar near about 25 days. I am very much thankful to our today's chairperson, Dr. B.R. Bodke sir, for chairing this session. I am also very much thankful to Dr. V.G. Chavan sir for presenting in this national seminar. Today's resource person, the guest of honor is Dr. Amit Kumar sir. Firstly, I would like to introduce about himself. Dr. Amit Kumar sir is a very versatile personality and he has deeply studied about electronics. Sir is working as an associate professor in the Department of Electronic Science at Bhaskaracharya College of Applied Sciences, University of Delhi. Sir he has completed his PhD in 2019 on optimal and electrical characterization of electrical conjugated polymer MEMPPV and development of its light enlightening devices. This is a very tough topic that he has handled for his PhD. He is having so many years experience, and he has published his 11 journals in Scopus Industry. He has also published his 5 journals in UGC Care Listed Journal. Sir has also published his 9 journals in peer-reviewed journal. Also, sir has published abroad, out of India, 4 research papers in international conference. It is abroad India. Also, sir has published 16 international research paper in 16 international conference in conducted by our country in India. He has also published 19 national research paper in 19 national conferences. Really, he has also contributed to a chapter in books that he has edited 5 chapter in books. So, not taking much time between you and sir, I heartily welcome today's honorable resource person, Dr. Amit Kumar sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the nice introduction you have given me. So, all the participants, my good evening to all of you. And I would like to share my screen and then we can discuss about today's topic. Please confirm if the screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible, sir. Just slide show it. Go to first slide.
Okay.
Go to first slide. Yeah, that's very nice.
I hope my audio is coming. I mean, I am audible
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
visible also.
Yes, sir.
Let me do one thing. Let me switch off my this video so that I will
Yeah.
be
Okay, okay.
interrupted.
Okay, sir.
Just
You
a
will get
minute.
a good internet connectivity. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So, as all of you know, my name is Dr. Amit Kumar, and I'm working as an associate professor in the Department of Electronic Science, Bhaskacharya College of Life Sciences, University of Delhi, which is situated in Dwarka, Southwest Delhi. And this is my email ID, official email ID. You can contact me anytime on this email ID. And today I would like to discuss about the electronic waste, the various issues and remedies that can we have in the Indian perspective. So basically, through this discussion, I would like to introduce you to the subject that electronic waste is, what the electronic waste is, and what are the issues related to it, and what could be the possible remedies. And we will be focusing the most of the discussion to the Indian perspective, but overall scenario at the different countries is different, but we will be discussing about the Indian perspective only. Basically, the situation today is that the advances in electronics is so high that there is a rapid change. Okay. So there is a rapid technological advances that such
If you
as,
don't tell you want, but you took 20 rupees more, you told?
am I audible?
Vasanti, ma'am, please, your mic is unmute. Please mute
Okay.
it.
Okay. I thought he
Sorry for disruption. Okay, proceed.
no, sir, it's okay. It's okay. So rapid technological changes are there. As we all us know that the scenario that 20 years later, what was the scenario 20 years later, and now what is the scenario? The devices are changing, the technologies are changing, and now artificial intelligence is coming, robotics is advancing, 4G is moving to 5G, and 6G and 7G is also operating. So because of that, there's a high volume of electronic trash which is generated worldwide. Okay. So because devices are getting older, and they are making more advanced day by day. So because of that, there is a generation of high volumes of electronic trash, not only in India, but all over the world. And because of that, what happens is that there is a, especially the situation is that the electronic equipment, especially computer and mobile phones, they change their software changes, their hardware changes, and it could be confirmed by there is a considerable increase in the production of these items in the last decade. And how? And because of this, there is a capabilities are increasing. Added to it, there is a decreased cost of each equipment. It means even though the advances are there, their features are increasing, at the same time cost of such equipment is decreasing. So the purchasing power of common man is increasing, and all because of these reasons, the life of these electronic equipment is getting shorter. That means ki today, if you buy some mobile phone or you buy some laptop, it will be only beneficial for coming 2 years or 3 years and 4 years. Then its life goes, its value goes to down, goes to zero. And this is what we call the electronic waste. What is electronic waste? The increase in the obsolete electronic devices that is observed all over the world. In addition to obsolete electrical devices are also there. That means ki not only the electronic devices, but electrical devices are also getting older day by day. For example, television, refrigerator, etc. And these kind of waste is called electrical waste. Okay. And treating these waste is a serious matter. Why? Because it is affecting human life nowadays. As a matter of fact, this kind of waste is more threatening compared to the conventional waste materials. And there is a health issues related to it. And together they are called the electronic waste. Together they are referred as electronic waste and more popularly known as e-waste. So this is the situation. This is the picture which is in newspaper, one of the newspaper recently. This is what we call the electronic waste. Now, how does it affect the environment and human life? The conventional way of treating the electronic waste is not there. It means that we haven't defined as how to treat this electronic waste. So most of the common people treat this as the conventional municipal waste, conventional municipal waste, so that they dispose of this e-waste to the conventional municipal waste, and that causes the ill effects to the environment and human health. So that if we put e-waste material into the municipal waste, it goes to the landfills and it contaminates the groundwater. It pollutes the soil, it pollutes the groundwater, and it produces some acid sludge that ceases to the acidification of soil. Sometimes they got combustion. They got means some of the people means इसको जला देते हैं, and because of that there is a toxic fume and gases that pollutes the air. So the issue of e-waste is recently being addressed by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji in his Man Ki Baat episode, when he highlighted the UN report that revealed the alarming fact about the approximately there is a generation of 50 million tons of e-waste globally each year. It was mentioned by Prime Minister Sir in the Man Ki Baat. In India, the volume of e-waste has gone to alarming high due to our large population, because population is so high that there is a increased use of ICTs in all the fields, and because of higher population, we are generating more and more electronic devices, and so that the electronic devices are getting wasted day by day, and its volume is also increasing. India is now the world's third largest source of e-waste. We generate about 3.2 million tons annually, according to 2019. We are just behind China and US, according to Global E-Waste Monitoring, which has been published on 2020. Even though there is a lack of authentic and comprehensive data on the e-waste, I mean, generation of e-waste is not taken as is not monitored all the time, but it is the rough data that is coming, and according to that, we are at the third position if compare other countries towards the e-waste generation. So what are the toxic material that are found in the e-waste? E-waste have many toxic material, for example, mercury. It is found in CRT tube, TV, lead acid batteries, thermostat, printer, solders, switches, solder joints, etc. So mercury is found in all these materials. Cadmium, which is another toxic material, which is found in CRT monitor, TV, rechargeable batteries, switches, joint, solder joints. Lead is found in PCBs, glass panel, gasket, monitor, and batteries. PVC is found in cables. Antimony, which is found in trace components of the metal solder. Asbestos sheets, of course, is used in insulation. Flame retardant, which is found in fluorescent lamps. Ethylene, which is found in soft softened plastic PVC, chlorobenzene found in PVC, beryllium which is found in motherboard, hexavalent chromium which is used as corrosion protection for untreated and galvanized steel plates or in steel housing, barium found in CRT, phosphorus is found in CRT, glycol is found in electrolyte capacity, BFR is found in plastic packaging of electronic equipment and circuit boards. Okay, so these are the common toxic material which is found in electronic waste and generally treated as the ordinary municipal waste in India. What does it causes? If a human come in direct contact with these kind of material, what are the health issues it causes? For example, lead. It affects the brain of development of children and harms the nervous system of the kidney. Cadmium. It causes irreversible damage to the human health that accumulates in liver, kidney, and causes the neural breakdown. Mercury. It causes the chronic damage to the brain, skin, respiratory disorder. PVC. It causes ill effect to reproductive and development problems. Immune system. It damages the immune system. Barium. Barium weakens the muscle. It damages the heart and liver. Beryllium. It causes the skin and chronic diseases. Lung cancer is caused by beryllium if it is inhaled as a fume. If beryllium is inhaled as a fume, it causes the lung cancer. It can cause lung cancer. It disturbs the endocrine system of the function. These are some of the ill effects which can be caused by the direct contact of electronic waste. Now, what are the e-waste management that generally performed in India? Now, e-waste contains hazardous material. This is one thing. It contains hazardous material, as I have told you. But along with that, it also contains non-hazardous material, precious material. For example, copper. It contains copper. It contains gold. It contains silver. Okay, and this is this precious material that attract the informal recycler in India. It attracts the informal recycler in India. In India, what happens is that majorly the e-waste management is done through the unorganized sector with handful of organized e-waste recyclers. More than 95% of the e-waste is treated and processed in most of the urban slums. In unorganized sector, the untrained worker perform the dangerous procedure to extract these precious material out of e-waste. This is the report which is published in 1917. It highlights the generation of electronic waste in India. So Mumbai lead the India in generation of e-waste, followed by Delhi NCR, then Bangalore, then Chennai, then Kolkata, then Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, and Pune. So these are the main cities that generate the electronic waste. And this is about the 120,000 metric ton. 120,000 metric ton that has been generated by Mumbai annually. This is the published report in 2017. What is the life of an e-waste recycler? One day, means searching for the how the e-waste people, the people who treat the e-waste are dealing with that. So I came about this case study. So in this case study, which is there in this, you can visit to this link and read about this case study. So it elaborated how a day of a person who is treating the e-waste in Delhi is spent. A day with the life of India's e-waste workers. It stated that the Aftab is a boy which is 15-year-old boy, he wait patiently along with the 4 and 5 other children in a heat to collect the e-waste leftover. Things like cell phone display and broken batteries. Okay, in the hot summer of June, with the maximum temperature registering about 105 Fahrenheit. What does he said? He said, I mostly used to start my day before the sunrise to avoid unbreathable temperature. But that was when I collect the copper pipes. Since they were heavy, my shoulder used to get locked and started hurting, said Aftab, weeping in sweat from his fate. Now I prefer to collect cell phones left over like cameras, electronic chip, keypad, and most easily to carry, but less profitable, available mostly during the daytime. Okay. So after carry this electronic waste, he pick up the leftover of cell phone like camera, electronic chip, and keypads, etc. from the garbage like this. This is the picture of Aftab, and he is picking up these small parts of electronic which is left there in this garbage. This is the area near Selampur, and most of the workers used to collect these kind of e-waste material like this and discarded electronic material like this without any protective gear like this. And most of the people who make this living off e-waste live only around the Selampur. Selampur area के आसपास ये रहते हैं. After lives with his family of 5 in a tin shed along with outside open drainage canal, which is filled with stinky, murky water and runs through the market. The oldest of his siblings, Aftab started working with its mother at the age of 8, collecting pieces of wire and then burning them to extract pieces of copper. His mother was forced to stop working after hazardous smoke produced some burning her sick several times. Okay, this is the situation of an e-waste worker. To be honest, who like to work here? He is saying, to be honest, who like to work here, but we are unprivileged and have no other choice. Every morning I stand in a long queue to fetch up a single bucket of drinking water. I consider myself lucky if I am able to get 2 buckets, and such small thing give me happiness, which is normal for others who are not leading the same lifestyle we do. While working, I get minor injuries, but I neglect them. If one of us stop working for a day, we won't be able to make the ends meet. This is the situation of workers who are working in Selampur area and treating the electronic waste in an unorganized recycling units. I hope I am audible. Anybody can confirm it. Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Hello. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So the situation is the unorganized recycling e-waste is means e-waste is recycled by unorganized sector where the untrained worker perform the dangerous procedure without using personal protective equipment. And such procedures are harmful for the health and dangerous for the environment also. A pilot study suggested that the unskilled worker working in the e-waste recycling unit are more than 10,000 in count in Delhi region only. There are more than 10,000 people who are working in an unorganized sector in such recycling unit in the Delhi region only. And this uncontrolled recycling of e-waste is done by the unorganized sector, is commonly referred as backyard recycling. The backyard recycling of e-waste is the main area of concern in non-organization for economic cooperation and development countries like India and China. Even though there is a no clear data on the volume of disposal of e-waste performed by the unorganized sector, but there is an evidence that major environmental issues associated with e-waste is informal process. So joining that story again, on a day in a mid-June, Aftab was pleased with what he collected. It was a lucky day as I found some of useful matter. He said with a smiling set of towards the snack cart. Now I can treat myself with samosas and get some rest. Hundreds of small establishments are packed with the different electronic gadgets which workers take apart mostly with their bare hand, a hammer, piler, hoping that they can extract precious material like gold, silver, or and tin or any useful item. Children move through this new corner of the market with the plastic bag and on their shoulder and collecting potential useful scrap from among the e-waste leftover piled in front of their doorways. So this is the situation where the children are working and picking up the e-waste material by their hands and doing the means unsafe procedures to extract these precious material out of it to get some money. This is one of the picture of Silampur area, which is which is which can be seen that there is a residential apartments are there and there is a drain canal, and on the both sides of this there is a collection of this waste material and electronic waste material is there. Okay. Not only that, according to a study which was published in 2017, India also serves as a dumping yard, dumping ground for the e-waste from the other countries like US, and through a complex ways of transshipment ports. It is estimated that at around 50,000 metric ton of e-waste is being imported into India every day. So there is not only the generation of electronic waste is there, but there is an import of electronic waste is also there. You can see here that we get the electronic waste from America through this channel or through this channel, from Australia, from Europe. So this e-waste is generally coming from this America area, Australia area, and Europe area to India. Some of this transportation is legal and some of that transportation is illegal. But mostly we are treated as a dumping yard for the electronic waste. Even though there is a transportation of electronic waste to some African countries also, in China also, but again, we are also the major importer of electronic waste material from the developed nation. So we need some rules to counter this. The first serious rule came about in 2019 when the government of India has notified an elaborated rules, which is called e-waste management rule. And it came into effect from 2016. Thereby, government has the responsibility of manufacturer, producer, and recycler for the proper management of electronic waste material. Before that, before the 2016, electronic waste material was treated as hazardous waste under the municipal waste. Okay, there was no special rule for the electronic waste. But after 2016, there is a special rule for the electronic waste. The government of India had made some special rules of treating electronic waste, and these are called E-Waste Management Rule 2016. But in June 23rd this year, there is a news: will India bet on the new policy to tackle e-waste payoff? It means that India rules and regulations have been failed from 2016 to counter this electronic waste issues. So after 2016, there is a not decrease in the electronic waste material, but there is an increase in the electronic waste material, exponential increase. Okay, you can see here that in 2017 it was like this, and in 22 it is like this. So e-waste accumulation is exploding in our country. E-waste accumulation, not only the generation, accumulation means we are not the generator only, we are the import. Okay, and this is the report which has been published by Central Pollution Control Board, and it is called E-Waste Management in India 2021-22. This is the last year figures that has been published by Government of India. So there is an increase in the electronic waste generation rather than decrease. Some of the local governments is also trying to treat this electronic waste on senior note. So when I was making this slides, I came to know that the Delhi government has already finalized 20-acre plot in Narela as a capital's first e-waste park, where the waste generator and certified recycler can operate under one roof. So governments are trying to look after this, and they are trying to make trying to handle the situation carefully. But the practice today is the same. In India, e-waste contains thousands of hazardous material and material that causes severe environmental and health issues. In addition to the hazardous material, there are non-hazardous materials. For example, if we consider CRT waste contains 40% of matter, 23% of plastic, then electronic component is there, the 15% of glass is also there. So from broader perspective, it contains plastic, glass, printer, cycles, ceramic, ferrous, non-ferrous metals, rubber, element like lead, mercury, cadmium, silver, gold, and platinum, etc. So hazardous material found in this, and because of that, there is a that attract the informal recycler. So equipment, India is treated as 4-stage process. In the first stage, there is an entry of electrical and electronic equipment, and most of this part is organized. In कहीं से electronic new device जो आता है, that is organized sector. It came as a raw material or components and assembly or new devices. Up to this stage, this sector is well organized in India. Then there is a generation of electronic waste. That means after the use, the older one get discarded, and for the sake of latest version, features, etc., to meet the present need. Okay. Then there is a pre-processing and reprocessing of e-waste. A local scrapper, a dealer, trader, etc., kabadi wada, rack pickers, etc., purchase these e-waste along with the other recycling scrap, and kabadi wadas or small traders sell it to the wholesaler or recycling dismantling unit for reprocessing. The precious material like copper, gold, and silver, aluminum, etc., are and residual waste either disposed of in landfill or open dumping. So this is the general procedure that is being followed by the most of the Indian part in today. The 4-step procedure is there. First is electronic waste purchase. It is organized. Second is e-waste generation. Then there is a collection method, and then there is a processing dismantling method by the local recycler. Now, up till now, we have discussed the electronic waste as a problem, but there is an opportunity also. Let us discuss that. For example, due to COVID, the Tokyo Olympic 2020 was postponed by a year, and it was held in 2021 in Japan. And it was the first time it has been postponed from the London Olympic. London Olympic भी postpone हुआ था World War II की वजह से. उसके बाद अभी COVID pandemic की वजह से हुआ. इसमें क्या था कि a total of 47,500 tons of e-waste, including 5 million smartphones, were collected from Japanese people in less than 2 years for this purpose. इस के लिए they have collected, the Japanese people have collected 47,500 tons of e-waste material. And from this e-waste material, they have extracted 28.4 kilo of gold, 3,500 kilogram of silver, 2,700 kilogram of bronze. These are the materials they have extracted. Okay. And from this e-waste, from this collected material, they have made the coins for the Olympiad. They have extracted the metal and converted them into gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal. And they get awarded to the Olympic 2021. That means the Japanese people only in 2 years have generated this amount of precious material out of electronic waste, and they have used it as an award during the Olympic 2021. By an independent study by Beijing and Sydney universities, estimated that 1 ton of electronic waste contained about 350 grams of gold, compared to 5 to 6 grams of extracted from the ton of mines drawn material. United States estimated that 320 tons of gold and 7,200 of gold, silver combined worth of 200 billion euros were thrown away in 2018. What it means that we can extract about 350 grams of gold out of 1 ton of electronic waste. It is almost 100 times greater than, more than 100 times greater than the gold extracted from the ore, the gold ore. 1 of gold ore only give you 5 to 6 grams of gold. But if you extract 350 grams of electronic waste, you will get, 1 ton of electronic waste, you will get 350 grams of gold. So it is beneficial to extract electronic waste for gold rather than means processing the ore of gold. Ore of gold से तो हमें केवल 5 to 6 grams of gold मिलता है, but अगर हम electronic waste को extract करेंगे, procedure करेंगे, then we will get about 350 grams. So how beneficial is this? And United States estimated that about 320 tons of gold has been wasted in 2018, and which worth about 200 billion euros. इतने amount का euro जो है वो हमने thrown away. They get thrown away in 2018. This much gold. There is an attempt by a Dell company which targets to make gold jewelry out of recycled motherboard. Dell is a company, famous company, and it targets to make gold recycled motherboard. The company has taken pledge to complete recycling unit of 100 billion pounds of e-waste in current year. The estimated study indicate that one can extract about 100 times more gold than from the e-waste as could be achieved by gold ore input of the same. E-waste therefore can be regarded as a urban mine since it contains huge secondary source of precious material. It is the one of fastest growing economies in recent times that have reached $62.5 billion in informal sector in 2018. And that is 3 times more than the annual output of world's silver mine. It is 3 times more than the annual output of world silver mine. Silver mine जितना हमको देता है उसका 3 times ये हमको दे रहा है. It is $62.5 billion in formal market. 2018 में इसकी वर्थ जो थी वो थी $62.5 billion. It is the fastest growing economies in recent times. Electronic waste is the fastest growing economies in recent times. So in India, what we do? We improperly handle the electronic waste material that causes the significant loss of precious values of raw materials. Which raw material ऐसे होते जो they are very precious. They are not found in otherwise. Like indium, neodymium. Indium is found in LCD or TV or monitor. Neodymium is found in motor magnet, etc. So we need a proper recycling of these materials that saying, and we only target gold and silver. क्योंकि जो informal recyclers होते हैं, they only know the gold and silver materials. They don't know about the neodymium, indium, etc. They are more precious than the gold and silver. Okay, and they get wasted. They get wasted because they dump it. They get wasted. These materials are used, could be used as a raw material for the electronic manufacturing. They can be used in the electronic manufacturing, and some of these are limited on Earth's crust and very difficult to extract from the natural resources. These materials like cobalt, indium, neodymium, they are very limited on the Earth crust and they are very difficult to extract from the natural resources. That is why these are very important. Electronic waste materials is therefore very, very important because we need to extract these materials also because they are very limited to the Earth crust and they can be used as a raw material for the electronic manufacturing because electronic manufacturing we always need these materials and if they are limited we will be not able to get it and then there will be a loss of it and situation will be very difficult. China also share the same situation with us because China also have my very large population as India. Okay. But their approach is little bit different. What they do, for example, smartphone. Smartphones are indispensable part, irreplaceable part, essential part of daily human life now. And it is even evident from the fact that total number of mobile phones in world today has crossed the world population. It means that mobile phones are more than the world population. World population is less, but the mobile phones are higher. Number of mobile phones in today world have the mobile phone higher than the world human population. This is the situation today. In China, which is the most populated country, world largest mobile phone market. It is the largest mobile phone market because it is the one of the most populated countries, so it is the largest mobile phone market. And it is also the world's largest smartphone manufacturing country. China is world's largest mobile phone manufacturing country. In 2017, the global mobile subscription reached about 7.38 billion units. Of 1.32 billion units were sold new through the China manufacturing. It means that out of 7.38 billion units which are sold in 2017, 1.32 billion units were only sold by China's manufacturing. 1.32 जो था वो China से बन के आया mobile phones. This is the typical life cycle of a mobile phone in China. Typical life cycle of a mobile waste material in China. A high volume of obsolete mobile phones get generated in China, which are taken as a high-tech mineral. They don't call the mobile phone, wasted mobile phone as waste. They call them high-tech minerals. They call the discarded obsolete mobile phones as high-tech material, HTMs. STM contains various precious materials that are limited on Earth crust, including rare material, earth material, and platinum group material metals. The emerging Chinese national strategy industry treat STM as the raw material for the development of high-end equipment. The sustainable supply of STMs enable the smooth development of such industries which might have been hit due to mining of STM in the natural. Hence, the China has taken the urban mining as the alternative to the natural mining for the precious metallic requirement of the electronic manufacturing. So China has taken e-waste as the urban mining. Rather than taking it as a problem, they have taken it as an opportunity. They are mining, they are treating this as the high-tech minerals. They are treating the electronic waste as high-tech minerals. And their strategy is to motivate the industry towards the mining of this STMs rather than natural mining. They have stopped natural mining. They are treating this as the minerals for these STM. So this is the cyclic process. They manufacture the mobile, they use the mobile for 2 years, then they generate the e-waste, they waste this material, then they extract the STMs, they treat this as STMs, they extract valuable minerals out of it, metals out of it. Then high version design is there. And again, it comes to the market, mobile manufacturing. Then after 2 years, e-waste generated, then STM extraction, then higher version can. And this is the cyclic process that is keep going on. So what China is doing? China is treating e-waste as an high-tech mineral, and they are extracting valuable precious materials. Those are limited on Earth crust, and they are extracting these materials from this STMs. So based on this picture, we can discuss about this. It is predicted that by 2030, the value of precious material that will be extracted from e-waste in China will worth about US $23.8 billion by urban mining. Urban mining says they are going to extract about US $23.8 billion. And this circular economy, जो मैंने last slide में दिखाई, the last slide circular economy will present a huge opportunity to generate growth, and China is all set to exploit the unique position to fulfill the demands of consumer electronics by the large-scale manufacturing and advanced areas. The key areas in making sustainable circular economy is supply of electronic good, demand in recycled materials, transportation of these materials, and are abundant in these all situations are abundant in China. Fund analysis modeling is used to evaluate the material flow analysis in China, and it indicates the future sustainability of formal recycling industries. The Chinese government motivates circular economy as a national policy. They are motivating this as the national policy since 2000. Since China has the ambitions to develop waste resource utilization industries with the aim to get economies of scale and secondary resource recycling. China has utilized the recycling e-waste material resource recovery with the environmental protection. The policies are so adopted that the average profit of recycling companies guarantee the circular economy and sustainable growth. China has a better position in terms of regulation, recycling rate needs to be appreciated, and better SWOT analysis may be used to draw a roadmap for India in the field of e-waste management. So our suggestion is we should learn from China and we should appreciate what the China is doing. China is taking it as an opportunity rather than taking it as a problem. So we need to draw a roadmap in India for the electronic waste management. What are the suggestions for India? We should motivate the electronic manufacturing. In electronic industry, India has more oriented towards the design rather than manufacturing. Electronics जो है India में, it is much more oriented, much more inclined to the designing part, not on the manufacturing part. The suggestion is that we should encourage more electronic manufacturing industries. And recent national policy on electronics, which has just come in 2019, is the first step in this direction. But a proper target-based approach is required to achieve the objective. Otherwise, China's primacy and the prevail future too. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology on June 2020 announced the much awaited electronic manufacturing scheme to. This scheme aims to promote production of not only domestic market but to the global export. We need to change the rules and statutes. India rules to monitor e-waste management are based on extended producer responsibility. मतलब कि we are making rules, but we are making producers' responsibility. This approach is somewhat failed. And state regulator have no monitoring on triple E producers. We don't have any monitoring policy on the triple E producer. There is an expensive establishment requirement for the recycler under the environment and health constraint. Means हमारी जो recycling unit के ऊपर जो rules हैं environment और health वो constraint काफी high है. China, on the other hand, innovative ideas. They formalize the e-waste collection and recycling. They have formalized the collection and e-waste. Suggestion is to make the new rules to achieve the conducive environment for the former e-waste recycler with the incentive to collect e-waste materials through the local rack pickers. The role of informal e-waste collector will be very important, both due to their poverty level and due to their reach to the local household. It means that we have to include the informal e-waste collectors also to the formal way, in a formal setup. We need to make a system of organized recycling that should be facilitated by local rack pickers who can help in the collection of e-waste materials. The initial high incentive may help to creating the atmosphere of trust between informal recycler collector and formal recycler. It means we have to bridge the gap between the informal collectors and formal recyclers. Today, what is happening? Informal collector rack picker जो है वो electronic waste को collect करता है and they just put it into the slums. Slums में वो केवल copper, gold वगैरह को target करके सारा waste material या तो नालों में बहा देते हैं या फिर जल देते हैं, जिससे pollution भी बढ़ता है, उनको health issues भी आ रहे हैं. Almost 80% of workers who are working in the e-waste industry, informal cycle, in slums में, सबको cancer है. The situation is very, very dangerous. We need to make awareness. Public awareness is required in managing the e-waste. The suggestion is that such awareness program may run through the electronic retail, and these retail shops may also act as the e-waste collector point. Good initiative has been started with the named as Green. Green is the initiative which has been started by Ministry of Electronics. Programs should be taken up by the Higher Education Institute. Our suggestion is that these programs should be taken by Higher Education Institute, and it will not only spread the awareness among the young generation, but also to the public at large. Public should also learn the importance of segregation, as it is beneficial at this point, both for the economic front and of course India-Chinese battlefield. New business model. Because of high cost labor, transportation, electric power, and e-waste, recycling is no longer a viable solution for the Western countries. That technology and infrastructure developed in the developed countries, but labor, transportation, processing, etc., are cheaper in developing countries like India. So we are the cheaper countries, means we provide, our labor is little bit cheaper than the developed countries. Therefore, we can have a business model so that we can treat the e-waste which is being imported from the Western countries in a formal way. As India's non-formal recycler deal with the bulk e-waste, any formal approach is likely to affect the entire value chain associated with the e-waste. New business model hence the need for the e-waste collector that may encourage them to learn about the maximum without having use of burning and chemically exposing matter to extract gold and silver, etc. If there is a mix of informal and formal sector, with the informal sector handling collection, reuse, while formal sector is responsible for dismantling and recycling. So business model could be like that. Ki informal and formal sector ka there could be a mix of them, and informal sector handles the collection and reuse, and formal sector is responsible for dismantling and recycling. So this is the suggested model for e-waste management, business management. Financial constraint kya hai? In China, the pilot product has launched with the aim to test new formal recycling method in place of informal cycling. In most of the cases, project failed to collect enough e-waste because the informal recycler pay consumer for the waste and pilot programs. The policy proposal entail sharing of financial responsibility with the consumer, manufacturer, and government. An incentive is to be provided to the consumer for donating the e-waste to the system in the form of donation. Basically, they are providing some incentive to the e-waste donator. In India, what we do is we sell off it for tiny amount of money, for small amount of money, and the informal recycler take it as a donation. Okay, so people prefer to take some money rather than donating. Okay, so therefore this situation is we, we are getting filled because electronic waste material is easily getting towards the informal recycler rather than the formal recycler. We need to make a new policy. As the e-waste crosses border and currently exported to the developing countries like India at an alarming rate, the implementation of EPR in these countries has become essential due to the lack of recycling and waste disposal infrastructure in these countries. For effective management of e-waste in the developing countries, government must change their attitude, and appropriate legislation must deal with, especially with the e-waste and control of e-waste. Dumping must be enacted, and APR must be implemented, and technology transfer must take place on a sound recycling e-waste. We should incorporate new technique, replacing the conventional and traditional e-waste management practices, future-oriented, eco-friendly approaches such as calation, injection of ironing. Means these are the some techniques that has been suggested uh, for the e-waste management. Self-motivation is also there, should be there. We should conserve our resources by minimizing the e-waste and reduce the energy consumption by lessening the amount of e-waste we generate. We can really need a new gadget, then only we should find one, and we can serve the multiple purpose. It means that buying an electronic gadget is not should be avoided. Buying an electronic gadget in a frequent manner should be avoided. We should be self-motivated that we should not uh, generate e-waste at an high speed, rather than we should avoid, and we should use Energy Star certified products only for environmental that has been there by the environmental assessment tool. Now, after this much discussion, we can conclude that there is a close Indo-Chinese geographical position that makes India to learn lesson to combat in China appropriately in the field of electronic waste management. Chinese global grip on electronics is hard to break, but the systematic discussion that is presented in this paper proves the point that a proper management of e-waste in the India is practiced by China. Should be, we should adopt the e-waste management as practiced by the China, and that will help the India, and that will make the India an electronic manufacturing hub. Roadmap so suggested may bring harmony in issues pertaining to the electronics in terms of environmental health and poverty and economics. This time is golden chance that India needs and cash to get better revenues in the electronic economic through the proper management of waste. The most of the discussion that I present in this evening is through through these two references that I have written: electronic waste management 2021 and a comparative analysis of electronic waste management in India and China that has been published in 2022. So both of these reviews have been written by me. You can check it if you want to know more about these issues. With that, I would like to thank the organizer. I would like to thank the fellow participant and audience for giving me the time and opportunity for this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Really, it was very nice, wonderful, informative, knowledgeable session that you have conducted today. And really, I appreciate the deep study in electronics and electrophysics. That really it has been too much guided to us. That your guidance was very nice to us, and your presence
Thank you.
in this national conference is gives us so much spontaneity, and it gives us so much spiritual power that we should learn and relearn about the electrophysics and electronics. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to go to the end of this session that to present the vote of thanks. I would like to present vote of thanks for the today chairperson, honorable principal of my college, Dr. B.R. Bodke sir. Sir was presented here since the beginning of this session, and sir has given his valuable time to today's national seminar. I'm very much thankful to you, sir, for being here. Also, I would like to thank to the vice principal of my college, Dr. Vittalji Chavan sir, for presenting here for the whole session. Thank you so much. Also, I would like to thank you to all the dear participants for being here, for listening about the electronic waste emerging issues in the presence in India, with the scenario of India, with the reference to our country, that what should the issues are there, and what should the action should be taken by us. Really, it was very nice presented by Amit sir. Really, sir, thank you so much for being with us and accepting our invitation as a resource person and guiding us about this subject. Thank you.